It happens faster than you can prepare for it. 1 second everything feels normal. You're in a conversation, maybe with friends, maybe at school, maybe in a meeting, maybe at a family dinner, or maybe with someone you actually respect. Then suddenly, without warning, it slips out. A comment, a tone, a look. Not loud. Not obvious, but sharp enough that you feel it instantly. It hits you in a place you didn't even know was exposed. And in that exact moment, your body reacts before your mind can even catch up. Your chest tightens, your heartbeat shifts, your face feels warmer, and your thoughts start racing. You start questioning yourself, did they just disrespect me? Should I respond? Should I ignore it? And now you're trapped, because your mind immediately pushes you into 2 options. Option 1, to fire back, to defend yourself, to try to win, to match their energy and throw something sharper back at them. And maybe, for a moment, it feels powerful, until it turns into something messy, emotional, and completely out of control. Or option 2, to stay quiet, to laugh it off, to pretend it didn't affect you, but deep down, you feel it. You replay it later. You think about what you should have said. And slowly, something inside you feels smaller. Most people live their entire lives stuck between these 2 reactions. Either reacting too much, or not reacting at all. And because of that, they are constantly controlled by how other people decide to treat them. But there's something most people don't realize. There is a third option. And it is so simple, that most people completely overlook it. Thousands of years ago, long before social media, long before modern psychology, men like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca understood something that most people today are still blind to. They understood that disrespect is not something that happens to you. It is something that is offered to you. And whether it affects you or not, depends entirely on whether you accept it. Let me say that again in a way you won't forget. Nobody can truly disrespect you without your internal permission. An insult is not a weapon. It is an invitation. And the moment you understand that, everything changes. Because you realize something powerful. You don't have to fight, you don't have to shrink, you don't even have to play the game at all. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly how this works. Not theory, not motivation, but real psychological control. I'm going to show you what's actually happening when someone tries to disrespect you. And I'm going to give you 1 sentence. Just 1. A simple, calm, almost effortless sentence that can completely shift the dynamic in any situation. Not by attacking, not by defending, but by exposing. And when you understand how to use it properly, people will start thinking twice before ever trying you again. But listen carefully. This only works if you understand the foundation. If you skip ahead, if you just want the sentence without the mindset, it will not land the way it's supposed to. So if you're still here right now, that already says something about you. You're not here just to be entertained. You're here to take control. And if that's you, do something small right now. Hit the subscribe button. Not because I'm asking you to, but because you've decided you're done reacting like everyone else. And I promise you, everything I share here is built for people who want quiet, real power. Also, drop this in the comments before we go further. Type it exactly like this: I control how I respond. Not for me, but for you. Because what you repeat, you reinforce. Now let's get into it. The first thing you need to understand is that what you think is happening is not what's actually happening. Number 1, the illusion of the personal attack. When someone disrespects you, your ego reacts instantly. It jumps in and says, "This is about me." It convinces you that the person has studied you, judged you, and decided that you are not enough in some way. And because of that, you feel attacked. You feel like your identity is under pressure. So you react. But here's the truth most people never stop to see. When someone throws an insult, uses sarcasm, or speaks down to you, they are not revealing anything about you. They are revealing everything about themselves. Think about it. A person who is truly at peace with themselves does not walk around trying to make others feel small. A person who is secure does not look for opportunities to belittle someone else. That behavior doesn't come from strength. It comes from instability, from insecurity, from internal pressure that they don't know how to handle. So instead of dealing with their own chaos, they try to project it outward. Epictetus said something powerful. He said, "People are not disturbed by things, but by the view they take of them." And that's exactly what's happening here. The moment you interpret their words as a direct attack on your worth, you give those words power. But if you step back, if you detach for just a second, you start to see it differently. That insult is not a judgment. It's a confession. It's a glimpse into their state of mind. It's a sign of what they are dealing with internally. And when you truly understand that, something shifts inside you. The urgency to react begins to fade. Because now, instead of seeing them as someone above you judging you, you start seeing them as someone struggling, trying to pull you into their chaos. And here's where it gets interesting. Once you stop taking it personally, the insult loses its weight. It stops feeling like something you need to defend against. And that's the first level of control. If this already makes sense to you, don't just sit there quietly. Tap the like button. It helps push this kind of thinking to more people who actually need it. And if you've ever experienced this kind of situation before, you already know how real this is. Now lock this in. Type this in the comments. Their behavior reflects them, not me. Because the more you repeat it, the faster it becomes natural. And we're just getting started. Because understanding this is one thing. But how you respond, that's where most people fail. So stay with me. Don't lose focus here, because this next part is where most people give their power away without even realizing it. Number 2, the trap of over-explaining. This is the mistake that looks like strength, but is actually weakness in disguise. Someone questions you. Someone twists your words. Someone throws a subtle jab at your competence, your character, or your intentions. And instantly, you feel the urge to correct it, to explain yourself, to clarify, to defend your name. So you start talking. You start listing reasons. You start justifying your actions. You try to make them understand you. And in your mind, it feels right. It feels like you're standing up for yourself. But what you don't see, is what you're communicating beneath the surface. Because the moment you begin to over-explain, you are doing something dangerous. You are placing them in a position of authority over you. You are subconsciously telling them, your opinion of me matters so much that I need to fix it. And the moment they feel that, the dynamic shifts. Now you're not in control anymore. Now you're reacting. Now you're trying to win approval. And the worst part is that, people who disrespect you already made up their mind before they spoke. They're not looking for clarity. They're looking for a reaction. They want to see you scramble. They want to see you prove yourself. Because that gives them a sense of control. And the more you talk, the more energy you give them. Seneca once said, the more you explain, the more you make yourself vulnerable to criticism. And if you think about it, it's true. Because when you keep explaining, you're not ending the conversation. You're extending it. You're feeding it. You're giving them more material to twist, question, or dismiss. That's why calm people don't rush to defend themselves. Not because they have nothing to say, but because they understand something deeper. They understand that not every misunderstanding needs correction. Not every opinion deserves a response. And not every person is qualified to judge them. Let me make this simple. If someone has already decided to see you in a certain way, no amount of explaining will change that. But it will drain you, it will frustrate you, and it will pull you deeper into a situation that was never worth your energy in the first place. So what do you do instead? You detach. You stop performing. You stop trying to be understood by someone who has no intention of understanding you. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself of this constantly. He said, "An emerald shines even if no one admires it." Think about that. Your value does not increase because someone understands you. And it does not decrease because someone misjudges you. So why are you trying so hard to explain yourself to people who don't even respect you? That's the shift. You stop explaining. Not because you're weak, but because you're grounded. Because you don't need external validation to feel stable. And when you reach that point, something powerful happens. People stop seeing you as someone they can easily shake. They stop testing you as often. Because you're no longer reacting the way they expect. Now listen carefully. This doesn't mean you never speak. It means you become intentional with your words. You speak when it matters. You stay silent when it doesn't. And most importantly, you never speak from a place of desperation. If this is hitting you right now, don't ignore it. Drop this in the comments. I don't owe explanations to everyone. Say it to yourself also and mean it. Because the moment you internalize that, you cut off one of the biggest leaks in your energy. And if you're starting to see how different this approach is from what most people do, go ahead and subscribe. Because this channel is not about loud motivation. It's about quiet control. The kind of control people don't see coming, until it's too late. Now we've cleared two major obstacles. You're no longer taking things personally. You're no longer over-explaining. So now, you're ready. Because this is where everything comes together. This is the part you've been waiting for. Number 3. The one sentence that changes everything. But before I give it to you, understand this. It's not just about what you say. It's about how you say it. It's about your presence. Your tone. Your timing. Because when used correctly, it doesn't just respond to disrespect. It exposes it. And once that happens, the entire dynamic shifts in your favor. Stay with me. Don't skip this part. Because what I'm about to show you is simple. But it's extremely powerful when done right. Now imagine this. The comment has just been made. The room is quiet for a second. Everyone is waiting. The person who said it is watching you closely. They're expecting something. Maybe anger, maybe embarrassment, or maybe a defensive explanation. That's the moment. The exact moment where most people lose control. But not you. Not anymore. Because instead of reacting, you pause. You don't rush, you don't flinch, you don't let your face betray what you're thinking, you stay still, grounded, and present. And then, you look at them. Not with anger, not with aggression, but with calm, almost curious awareness. Like you're observing something, not reacting to it. 1 second passes. Then 2. You let the silence breathe. And then, in a steady, neutral voice, you say this one sentence. Are you trying to get a reaction from me? Let that land. Are you trying to get a reaction from me? Notice what just happened. You didn't defend yourself. You didn't attack them. You didn't explain anything. Instead, you stepped outside the emotional frame completely. And you pulled them into awareness. That question does something most people are not prepared for. It exposes intention. Because if they were trying to provoke you, you just made it visible. You named the game. And once the game is named, it loses power. People who rely on disrespect, sarcasm, or passive aggression depend on one thing. They depend on you reacting without thinking. They depend on you staying inside the emotional moment. But the second you ask that question, you break the pattern. You force them to confront what they're doing. And most people are not comfortable with that. So what happens next? They hesitate. They stumble. They might laugh it off. They might say something like, "What? No, I was just joking." Or, "You're taking it too seriously." But pay attention. That shift right there. That awkwardness. That slight loss of confidence in their tone. That's the moment you've already won. Not because you embarrassed them. But because you didn't give them what they came for. You didn't give them anger. You didn't give them submission. You gave them awareness. And awareness is uncomfortable for someone who is operating unconsciously. Epictetus said, if someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation. But now, your mind is no longer complicit. You've stepped above it. And that's what makes this so powerful. Now here's something important. This only works if your delivery is right. If you say it with anger, it loses its edge. If you say it defensively, it sounds weak. But when you say it calmly, almost casually, it hits differently. T feels controlled, it feels intentional. And people notice that. So don't rush it. Don't force it. Let it come from a place of stillness. Now I want you to do something. Type this in the comments right now. I respond with awareness, not emotion. Because that's exactly what you're doing here. And the more you remind yourself of that, the more natural it becomes. Also, if you're starting to realize how powerful this is, don't just watch quietly. Subscribe. Because this kind of control is rare. And once you build it, people can feel it without you saying a word. Now listen carefully. Most people think the sentence is the weapon. But it's not. It's only the first half. What comes next is where the real power is revealed. And this is the part most people get wrong. Number 4, the power of silence. After you ask that question, after you say, "Are you trying to get a reaction from me?" you do something that feels uncomfortable at first, but is incredibly powerful. You stop talking. Completely. No follow-up. No explanation. No softening. Nothing. You let the silence sit, you let it stretch, you let it become heavy. And this is where everything shifts. Because silence creates pressure. And human beings are not comfortable with pressure like that. Especially in social situations. So what happens? They start talking. They try to fill the gap. They start explaining themselves. They backtrack. They say things like, "I didn't mean it like that," or "You misunderstood." Notice the reversal. A moment ago, you were the one about to explain yourself. Now, they are. That's control. That's what silence does. It forces the other person to sit with what they created. And most people can't handle that. Seneca said, "Silence is a lesson learned through many sufferings." Because it goes against your instinct. Your instinct is to fill the space. To smooth things over. To reduce tension. But when you resist that urge, you gain something rare. Authority, presence, control over the moment. And the more you practice this, the more natural it becomes. You start to realize that you don't need many words to command respect. Sometimes, the absence of words says everything. Now let's make this practical. Next time you're in that situation, don't rush. Ask the question. Then stop. Let them deal with it. And watch how quickly the dynamic changes. If you're still with me right now, that means you're not just listening. You're actually processing this. So do this. Hit the like button. Not for me, but to lock this lesson in your mind. Because small actions like that reinforce what you're learning. And if you've ever struggled with speaking too much in tense moments, type this in the comments. My silence is my strength. Because from this point forward, you're not reacting the way you used to. You're operating differently. Now we go deeper. Because controlling a moment is powerful. But controlling your life long term, that's a different level. And that brings us to the next step. Number 5, the withdrawal of access. Pay attention to this, because this is subtle, but extremely powerful. Someone disrespects you. You handle it calmly. You don't react. You don't over-explain. You use the sentence. You hold your silence. Good. But then what? Most people go right back to normal. They keep giving the same energy, the same attention, the same access. And that's where they lose everything they just established. Because respect is not just about how you respond in one moment. It's about what you tolerate over time. So if someone shows you that they are willing to cross your boundaries, you don't need to argue with them. You don't need to announce anything. You don't need to give a speech about how you feel. You simply adjust your behavior. Quietly. You reduce their access to you. You respond slower. You stop over-engaging. You keep conversations short and neutral. You don't share personal information with them anymore. You don't give them your warmth, your attention, your presence, the way you used to. And you do all of this without drama. Without hostility. Without making it obvious. You remain calm. Polite. Composed. But different. This is what people call becoming a gray rock. Uninteresting to those who thrive on reactions. Unavailable to those who don't respect you. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." And this is exactly that. You're not talking about boundaries. You're living them. Because here's the truth. Your attention is valuable. Your time is valuable. Your energy is valuable. And not everyone deserves access to it. When someone disrespects you, and you continue giving them full access, you teach them that there is no consequence. But when your behavior changes, when your presence becomes limited, they feel it. They may not understand it immediately, but they notice. Because human beings are very sensitive to shifts in energy. They can tell when something is different. And over time, they connect the dots. They realize that their behavior cost them something. And that's when respect begins to form. Not because you demanded it, but because you enforced it. Quietly. Now understand this clearly. This is not about being cold to everyone. This is about being selective. There's a difference. You're not shutting down. You're choosing where your energy goes. And once you master that, you stop feeling drained by people. You stop feeling like you need to constantly protect yourself. Because your boundaries are already in place. If this is making sense to you right now, Don't just move past it. Apply it. And type this in the comments. My energy is earned, not given. Let that sit in your mind. Because that one shift alone can change your entire experience with people. And if you're starting to see that this is not just about handling disrespect, but about becoming someone who naturally commands respect, then go ahead and subscribe. Because this is what this channel is about. Not noise. Not hype. But real, quiet strength. Now we go deeper. Because even with all of this, there is still one question left. Why does disrespect affect you so much in the first place? Why do certain words stay in your head? Why do you replay moments over and over again? Why does it get under your skin, even when you try to ignore it? This is where most people stop. But we're not stopping. Number 6, rebuilding the foundation of your self-worth. This is the part that changes everything. Because everything we've talked about so far will only take you so far. If your internal foundation is weak, think about it. Why does an insult hurt? It's not just the words. It's what those words connect to inside you. Somewhere deep down, there is a small doubt. A small insecurity. A part of you that wonders, what if what they said is true? And that's what gives the insult power. Because it attaches itself to something that already exists within you. If your sense of self is built on other people's opinions, on validation, on approval, then every negative comment feels like a threat. Every insult feels like exposure. And you end up constantly trying to defend something that isn't stable. Seneca said, "He who depends on others for his happiness will never be truly secure." And that applies here perfectly. If your worth depends on what people think, then people will always have power over you. So what do? You rebuild. From the inside. You stop outsourcing your value. You stop waiting for people to approve of you before you feel confident. You start doing the work that most people avoid. You become honest with yourself. You keep your promises to yourself. You build discipline. You improve quietly. You become someone that you respect, even when nobody is watching. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." That's the standard. Not perfection, but alignment. Because when you live in alignment with your values, something powerful happens. Your confidence stops being fragile. It becomes stable. It becomes internal. And when that happens, insults lose their grip on you. They stop feeling personal. They stop lingering in your mind. They start sounding like noise. Like something distant. Something irrelevant. Because now, you know who you are. And once you know who you are, nobody else gets to define that for you. Now lock this in. Type this in the comments. My worth comes from within. Because this is the foundation. Without this, everything else is temporary. But with this, you become untouchable. And if you've stayed with me this far, that already tells me something about you. You're not here for surface-level advice. You're here for real change. So do one more thing. Subscribe and commit to becoming someone who doesn't get shaken easily. Because the last part of this is the one most people are not ready for. But you need to hear it. This is the part that separates people who understand this from people who actually live it. Number 7, let them see you as the villain. Because here's the truth most people try to avoid. The moment you stop reacting the way people expect, the moment you stop explaining yourself, the moment you start holding your silence and withdrawing your energy. Some people will not like it. In fact, some people will resent it. They will say you've changed. They will say you're acting different. They will call you proud, cold, arrogant. They might even go behind your back and tell others that you think you're better than them. And if you're not prepared for that, you will fall right back into old habits. You will start explaining again. You will start softening yourself just to make them comfortable. You will start shrinking, just to fit into their expectations. And everything you've built will collapse. So you have to decide. Do you want to be respected? Or do you want to be liked by everyone? Because most of the time, you don't get both. Seneca said, "Care not for the opinion of those whose judgment you would not respect." Think about that carefully. Why are you trying to maintain a good image, in the eyes of people who don't even live the kind of life you respect? Why are you exhausting yourself trying to control how others see you? You can't. And the moment you accept that, you become free. Because now, you're not performing anymore. You're not trying to win approval. You're not adjusting your behavior just to avoid being misunderstood. You're simply living, in alignment with your standards. And if that makes you the villain in someone else's story, let it. Let them misunderstand you. Let them talk. Let them create whatever version of you they need, to feel comfortable in their own mind. Because their story is not your responsibility. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself of this constantly. He said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." And other people's opinions fall under outside events. You cannot control them. But you can control how you respond to them. So instead of wasting energy trying to fix your image, you invest that energy into strengthening your character, into building your discipline, into becoming someone who doesn't need external approval to feel stable. And when you reach that point, something shifts. You stop fearing judgment. You stop overthinking what people say. You stop replaying conversations in your head. Because you're no longer living for them. You're living for your own standards. And that is where real peace comes from. Now bring everything together. The next time someone tries to disrespect you, don't rush. Don't react. Pause. Remember what you've learned here. Understand that it's not about you. Refuse to over-explain. Look at them calmly. Ask the question. Are you trying to get a reaction from me? Then hold your silence. Let them sit in it. And after that moment passes, adjust your access. Protect your energy. Stay grounded in your worth. And if they choose to misunderstand you, let them. Because at the end of the day, disrespect is loud. But real power is quiet. It doesn't argue. It doesn't chase validation. It doesn't try to prove anything. It simply stands, firm, calm, and unshaken. Now if you've stayed with me until this point, you didn't just watch this video. You absorbed it. And that already puts you ahead of most people. So let's make this real. Don't just leave quietly. Do something with it. First, hit the like button. Not as a habit, but as a decision. A decision to reinforce what you've just learned. Second, subscribe. And I'll say this differently. If you're serious about becoming someone who doesn't get easily shaken, someone who moves with control instead of emotion, then this channel is where you need to be. But if you're not ready for that, you can ignore it. Third, leave this in the comments. I am calm, I am aware, I am in control. Type it exactly like that. Because when you write it, you anchor it. And finally, share this with someone who needs it. Not everyone will understand it, but the right person will. And in the last few seconds here, if you want to go deeper into this mindset, check the link in the description and go through the playlist. Don't jump around. Start from the beginning and build it properly. Now remember this. You are not here to react to every situation. You are here to master yourself. Stay calm. Stay disciplined. Protect your mind. And I'll see you in the next one.